Okay, so problem 78 and 79. So on 78, what's really important here is to understand the real meaning of an inverse function. That -1 is not a power. That's a symbol for inverse. Okay, what's the inverse? It's the function that goes backwards. Now they want us to find the inverse at 2. So what we're going to do is plug in 2. So let's see what f of 2 is. In other words, we got 6 times 3 to the 2 power. 6 times 9, because 3 squared is 9, which is 54. So in other words, when we plug in 2, we get out 54. Now what does the inverse do is it starts with what we ended up with, and it goes backwards. So the inverse at 2, well, this is a trick question because f of 2 is 54, and you end up at 2. So the answer is C2. In other words, if you look at the graph right here, if we keep going up, it would have a point here that's 254. And so the inverse of this function is f of 2, first of all, is 54, but its inverse is 2. So it's kind of a stupid, tricky question. Okay, here's another example. See how that right there says -1 is 2? So if I did f inverse of 2, meaning the y is 2, I would get -1. You see, the inverse always takes it backwards, in other words. So in our problem, just to be redundant, we know that f of 2 is 54. Well, what's f inverse of 54? Well, that's just simply going to be 2. And that should be it. That should be it. Now, if they said f inverse of 2, what they mean is we would look for y2, which would give us the answer -1. So either they did the question, worded it weird, or the correct answer should be 2. Let's just leave it at that. So hopefully you understand the inverse just takes, it's like the reverse function. Okay, now this one right here, you're given the main or family function, natural log of x. Now what's the x minus 2 going to do? Remember, with the x, you have to think backwards. So -2 means right 2, and the +5 means up 5. So that's what that means. If this was x plus 3 in here, then we would say left 3. In other words, +3 means left 3, right? Just like -2 means right 2. You have to think backwards with the x. But let's say instead of +5, it was -7. That would mean we would go down 7 as well. But anyways, for our problem, we want to go right 2 for the -2 and then up 5. So up 5 is true. Down 2 is false. Left 2, that's there to trick you because -2 means right 2. And yeah, so the only correct answer is A, but the most complete answer is you're going to translate up 5, as it says, but also right 2. And that's problem 78 and 79.